Who remembers this?
Right, we're 500 and I'm not going anywhere. Right. That's why I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, this is the bottom piece of that, the piece that stayed in the lathe, right? But what I've done with it is I basically cut it square, and it has sat in the kiln for 3 months. And I actually got it down to 6% on the moisture meter. Now that was 6% reading from inside the cracks. Since I took it out, left it on the shelf for a few days to normalise, took a reading again, and it had gone up to 7%. So I figured that's about as good as I'm going to get. And then I started to fill the cracks, right? I've been filling this for the last 5 days, the cracks in it. Because I don't have a pressure pot, I have to do it a certain way. So basically what I've done was I built up around the side, filled one side, let it sit for 24 hours, flipped it over, same thing, filled this side, same, right? And on the end. Now, I've actually used so much resin in this. This thing now weighs a ton. Right? I've used so much resin in this, I actually ran out of purple. And I had to go with blue on the ends. Right? Now, I've one left to do. Right? There's a void there, there's a void there, there's a void there, there. And even when I cut into this, I'm expecting to probably find more voids. But this is the last part that I'm going to be doing on this, hopefully. Right, now what I'm going to do is the same as I did on all the other sides. I'm going to build up a little wall around here and fill that with resin and let it flow down. Now what I use to build up the walls is this stuff. Right, it's called farmer's tape. It's high strength PVC tape and it's absolutely fantastic here. I use it a lot if I'm doing boxes and I want to hold a lid on to shape it and stuff. I'll use this. I use it for moulding, and it's actually quite cheap. Right, so what I'll do is I'll put the wall on this, and I'll be back in a second. Right then, and there's the mould built up. Now, because I'm using resin, and I said this the last time I did a video with resin in it, resin's not your friend. So I'm wearing long sleeves, gloves, and I'll be putting a mask on. If you really want the full lecture on resin, go and look at the bog oak and resin 1,000 subscriber giveaway one, and that will give you the full one. Right. But let's just leave it at don't use resin without protection of some sort. Right, now I'm going to mix the resin here. I use Glasscast resin because it doesn't need a pressure pot. Glasscast is really easy. It's a 2-to-1 mix. Of the resin to harden it. And if you're interested in how I'd mix it and stuff, yet again, that same video, I go through it. go through all the steps I do. Right, put the colour into it. A couple of these voids are small, but there's one really deep one, which is of course going to be the main one I'm trying to fill. But I will try and get them all. Thing is, with the pressure pot, I really have to work this resin in to the cracks, especially if it's a deep one like that. A little bit more in there. I have a mould off to the side for a pen for any excess resin I have. A couple of small ones there. I think that's where the rest of this can safely go. A Glasscast, a quick hit of a heat gun is what's used instead of a pressure pot. It pops all the bubbles and makes the stuff kind of flowy. But you really want to make sure you don't overheat it, or else you get a thermal reaction. Now, we'll just leave that for 24 hours and then we can pop it out of the mould, and hopefully all the voids are filled. So for me it'll be 24 hours, for you maybe 10 seconds. So I'll see you in a few. Right then, so there we have it in the lathe between standers. I'll be using a combination of traditional tools and cardboards because there's so much resin in it, probably. First thing I'm going to do is round it off and put a tenon on it. So we'll get on with that. Grab a face shield. Let's go on with this one. Stop and see how that's cutting on the resin. Yeah, as I feared, there is more voids inside this. Hopefully it's not too much though. See how we're doing. Yeah, look, there's voids inside this. I said I feared there would be. There's a really good one there. Right, so it looks, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to round this down and then I'm going to have to go filling voids again. Yeah, there's big voids in this. And if you see the internal voids, there's one there, there's one there, there's one there. The small ones there, they'll be getting cut out though. That one there, though, will be right in the middle of the bowl. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go film this again. So at the moment we're on hold. So we'll get to film those voids and I'll be back with you. Right then, and we're back, and I have all those big voids filled. What I did was I filled the voids, right, and then I just skimmed off the excess resin that was on it, and I found that there's more tiny little voids in it. I think at this stage I'm just going to have to accept that there could be some tiny voids in this. But we'll just go with it and see what happens. Right, now the first thing I want to do is put a tenon on it. So square it off first. Now we put the tenon on. I'm going to use the Supernova chuck with the 2-inch jaws on it. Which are straight jaws with like a bump on the top. Something like the C jaws. Something like an Axminster C jaw, except for the little bumpy grippy thing on the top actually has a dovetail on it. And you do not cut a groove. Right then, stick that in the jaws and we get on with this. Now I'm of course going to go for an Irish style chalice. I check this just about every cut I do. Just in case there's a large void in it. Well, that all looks okay. Right. Now, let's get on with this. Now, cup about there. Yeah, that's a better shape. If you wonder what an Irish style chalice is, the top looks a lot more like a cup. and it's ornate. There's another video I did, which I turned an early style chalice out of some tiger wood. I'll stick a link below to it in case you're interested. Now, narrow parting tool. Now, the detail gears, take them out. With all this resin, maybe a cardboard might be better for doing this. Starts to turn here. Put this down as well. We've got a bit of a blowout just there. See? Something I was worried about doing this. Right, so I'm going to take that one out of it completely. Look there. Right, the top bead is fine. I'm going to refine that curve a little. Right, now roll this. Yeah, that's good. Let's look at that. Yeah, that bead's rolled nicely. Shape is roughly there. Right, now I want to get on with hollowing this. So I'm going to hollow out the inside of that. So I'll set up for hollowing, move the camera, and we'll be back in a second. Right, we're set up for hollowing. First thing I want to do is define the width that I'm looking for. as that. Yeah, that's the width I'm looking for there. Now, I'm going to use a small ball gouge, 3/8, to hollow this out. I may switch to a round carbide at some stage. Because of the resin. So the rest might be slightly high. Very slightly. I'll switch to round carbide now. So here we're doing. Yeah, we're not doing bad at all. Yeah, it's much easier with the carbide because of that resin that's in there to do this. Look at that, how we on with. No, let's start going thinner. Yeah, that's starting to feel good now. Same width there. There's a little bit to go on this. So move that tool rest in as close as I can get it. I don't want to take too big of a bite on this at all. I get that light any better in there. I hope that's not unfocusing the camera or pointing everything out on you. I just need to be able to see in here what I'm doing. Something I think I'm going to make life easier on myself. I'm going to drill that middle out. Get rid of that lump. Yes. So I'm going to make life easier on myself and I'm going to drill the middle out. We're going to drill at 400. That's as deep as I want to go. Yeah, get this drill out of the way. Right then, that should make it a hell of a lot easier using the carbide. Drilling that middle out again. So back up to 1000 again. I just want to turn this carbide blade a little bit. That's starting to blunt up on me. And so, I'll be back in a second. I use carbide so little that I constantly forget to turn the heads when I am using them. I have to get another light because I really cannot see in there. There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. There's a slight bump just there. Transition in the bottom is not smack on. Let's sort that out. Just there's a slight bump. I got it. Right, now I'm going to sand and finish the inside of that. And I'll be back then. Right, just buffing off the inside here. Using a different wax to my normal one in here. I actually bought this to do this project. It's Hampshire Shane embellishing wax, and I bought the purple specifically to do this project. I was actually talking to Martin about it because I've never used embellishing wax before, and I asked him should I put gloss wax up over it. And he said it didn't need a finish on it, but if I was going to put a finish on it, to put microcrystalline wax over it, but it doesn't really need it. And there's the inside of it done. Now I'll move the camera again and we'll get to the outside of this. Right, now I want to take the bowl out of the equation altogether. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use soft touch right down the inside so that it puts the pressure from the tailstock all to the stem, and the bowl is completely out of the equation altogether. All the pressure is now going from there to there, right, and the bowl is completely and utterly out of the equation. Sometimes lining these up can be a bit interesting. You've got to make sure that it lines up perfectly straight. Spin it. There we go. So as straight as I can get it. Right, now we can start working on the outside of this. Right. First thing I want to do is take here down a bit. What I want to do is leave a bump of sorts here in the middle. Twist up slightly for doing this. I'm putting a rough shape down here because I want to know the distance from there to there, because I want like an embellishment right in the middle there. Right, now I'm going to take a run over that with the carbide, simply to clean up the resin. Thing is, with a carbide, it doesn't matter if you're going uphill or downhill, because of the way it works the wood. Now, all I want to do is cut a groove in the middle of that. I'm going to use the carbide to do it. Right, and just round over those two sharp edges slightly. I said I don't want this one overly fancy, because I think this wood kind of speaks for itself. There we go, that's better. It's a better cut. Much better cut. So look at that. What I'm actually doing is I'm just checking the resin isn't chipped out crazy places. No, it is not. Right. Now, we'll sand that and finish the outside. And I'll be back in a minute. Right then, I've been sanding this and I've decided I don't like that piece in the middle. I'm gonna change it. I think this kind of needs a straighter stem on it. Now, I do want to keep some sort of a bump in there, but not that big. Much better. Yeah, that's a much better shape. That's just enough. Just here. There we go. That's a much better shape. Yeah, I've just been called for lunch, so I'll be back in a bit. Right, when I was at lunch, I was having a look at the video I'd shot, and I decided the hair is too heavy with that stem now, so I'm going to put a scoop in it, thin it down a bit. So I'm going to use a carbide for it because of the resin. I'm watching the edge here because I know there's a crack. There's a bump there, which I don't want. Right. I'll pull cut with that gouge. Even all that out. Slightly low. And we got a catch. Oh, we got a good catch. See if we can save this. That was that crack I was saying was in there. Is it okay? How far up was that crack going? It's gone up to there. Yes, that is okay. We might actually get away with this. Right then, we'll sand that. Let's see what happens. So, back in a few. Right, just buffing the wax off. And what I'm doing is, if you wouldn't mind, click and like on the video. Help the channel out a good bit actually. Now we got quite lucky, well, I got quite lucky with where that catch was, because it's only maybe a mil up into where I was going to part off anyway. So we're still good. Oh, that is pretty. See, I was going to part off around about there anyway. Right, so let's just bring it up a little bit. But what I have to do is before I try and part off, I want to get rid of that so that I don't get a catch in it again. So that's going to be the first thing I'm going to do, is get rid of that little step there. Can I use a spindle gouge to do it? Just going to nibble away at it till it goes away. There was a bit of a crack down there that the resin didn't get into, and that's where it broke off. I don't want to be parting off into that, because that would almost guarantee another catch. Right, tiny bit more. That tiny little bit, and we're there. That should be it, hopefully. One more. Yeah, that's good enough. Right, now we part that off. Right then, parting tool. Right, now, so we'll finish off the base. Right, so there it is. A chalice made out of 5,000-year-old wood and resin. Not 100% happy with that base. I wish I hadn't got the catch. It's slightly too small. The base is to be bang on. But that's it. The purple and the black go well together. So, hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll see you in the next one.